in Romania, for many of you that might not know, the state of emergency is ending today. So I think this is a reason why, in comparison with other editions, this is a smaller gathering, but I actually enjoy, even if there are one or two people, it means that we can connect with them and bring them something different for a coffee on Friday. This is the 7th edition of the virtual morning coffee, and I'm so grateful that with the Creative Mornings community, we still manage to connect with people globally. And you can still do that by exploring the website, creativemornings.com, where you can travel all around the world from the safety of your house, and you can join in Creative Mornings events or field trips. The field trips are like mini workshops with people from around the world. For example, I even attended some about daily rituals, or it goes from cooking to yoga or creative hobbies. I recommend you all to explore. And as a curiosity, how many of you have tried virtual events? You can raise your mug if you have tried one of them. Nice. Does anyone want to share what event they explored, or how was it? Why are you so shy this morning? Yes.
So I think I was in Nashville once, and it was the first time I played this Raise the Mug game. So that was really fun. There was a talk from some guy who owned a coffee shop, and there was a lot of talk about coffee. And since I love coffee, that was really interesting.
Nice. So yeah, you see, you can go actually in the States from your own sofa. So it's a really fun and interesting experience. Also for Creative Mornings, it means to connect with people. And even though we can't do the physical events, and for example, when we do the physical events once a month and explore a global theme, there's also that nice moment when you can connect with people or meet new people while waiting for the cup of coffee or breakfast. So virtually we can simulate that with an option from Zoom, which is called breakout rooms. So for 5 minutes, I will divide you randomly in mini virtual rooms. If you want to join, accept when you will receive the invitation. If you don't want to join, no pressure, no worries. So we will divide, you'll be around let's say 3 or 4 people, yeah. And we start now. How was it?
Awesome.
Now, after getting our imaginary virtual coffee, actually physical coffee, because I imagine that each one of you have their cup of coffee in their favorite mug, or tea or water. I would like to introduce back and first of all say thank you so much for accepting again to share a Friday morning with the rest of us. Elisav was in case you have not been to our events, he was our speaker in January 2020 when he explored the global theme of roots. But also, I think it was one of the most engaging and interactive session because he challenged people to write messages for future attendees or to give and receive books and share together that great feeling of giving and receiving gifts. thank you, Elisav, for giving us your lovely morning, and I will give the virtual microphone to you now.
It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure. Thank you for the invitation to this morning event. It's actually going to be my first virtual event ever, honestly. Yes, I am that cranky old man that sits in the house, and oh, it's so weird seeing my own face. Oh, I gotta see somebody else's face. I'm gonna choose a
You can use the option of gallery view.
gallery view. Let's see. See,
Yes.
this is what I'm saying by cranky old man. I am. There you go. Much better. I can see
Yes.
everybody. Yeah, much better. So most of the time, I'm actually sitting in the house and just writing or creating or playing. And that is actually what I wanted to talk about because I feel everybody's very serious nowadays. At least whenever I'm talking with people, they're talking about what's going on right now, and it is a serious subject. But I feel that it's kind of fitting right now that this talk is on the 15th, when in Romania the emergency state is actually going to an alert state. So I feel everybody's kind of confused about what the alert state is, and there's a lot of jokes on the internet, and everybody's kind of in a playful mood right now. I suppose that's why there's not a lot of us right now in the morning, because probably they're already at the hairdresser or they're already doing their, I mean, my mom's already planned for stuff for today, you know, and I feel everybody's doing that right now. So I want to talk about uh, a method of mine to approach certain situations and to tackle ideas, and that is the idea of play. And it's not written in the way that you write play, it's written like this. So let me space it out right here. And each letter in the word play stands for something. So we're going to be doing a sort of activity at the beginning of each letter in order to engage you guys and to get those grooves in the morning. The first letter, P, stands for playfulness. So I want everybody to type in a random word in the text. What we're going to do is we're basically going to create something together, and we're going to do this 5 times. And at the end, I'm going to gather all of the entries, and I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do with it. But let's all do this. We're basically creating something together. And right now, everybody just type in one random word. Don't hit enter, just type one random word in there. In Romanian, English, it doesn't matter. In Hungarian, in German, just one random word. Make it exciting. No, it doesn't need to start with P. Sorry, it was funny for me. Any word with any letter, any length. Let's see, I'm gonna type 1, 2. Okay, there you go. And everybody can just hit enter now. There. Okay, 2 people typed in music? No, that would have been so random. Okay, yeah, there you go. Come on. That's it? Okay, that's it. Oh, we're getting more entries. That's it. What's guzzling? What's guzzling? I've never heard of guzzling. Beautiful. So we got sensuality, glass, nature, music, joy, raccoon, papusha, mystery, sausage, chocolate, smile. I don't know. I think it's a mockingbird. Patience, tea, guzzling. It's cozy in Dutch. I like that. And couch. So you can already have a story forming right here, which I kind of love. So we can move on away from there. I want to talk a bit about the playfulness thing. And playfulness is about taking what is given to you and playing with it. And I really want to refer more exactly to those situations where people actually don't expect you to be playful, such as, for example, if you're going to have an accident, if you're having an accident. A while ago, I broke my leg, and I went to the ER, and I had just come from a breakup as well. And whenever I break something, because I broke my arm as well and broke my head, And whenever I break something, I always have this attitude of, and I'm just sitting there smiling, and everybody's looking at me expecting to feel pain or some sort of anger. But I'm just thinking, yesterday I had this plan for the next few weeks, and I was prepared to be productive. And right now I'm thinking about, I'm going to be sitting in bed for 2 months because my leg is broken. So this attitude of playfulness, it has always given me much joy, because you know, like how life can be, you know, you're prepared for something and then something bad happens or something good happens. And even when something good happens, you're like, ah, this is nice, but I wanted to do something else. And if you're a productive person, you always try to plan everything, and then something happens and it goes tits up. It goes tits up. So I broke my leg and I was in the ER in Cluj, and a friend of mine was talking about infinites. How whenever you come out of a relationship, you will still hear people's names. I mean, you'll still hear your ex's name around you. That means you're stuck in an infinite. So I'm there in the ER, right? And it's 12 at night, and all of the doctors are going around talking with patients, and I sit there for 1 hour, during which I hear my name, but they're not talking to me, they're talking to another doctor who has the same name. And I hear my ex-girlfriend's name, who's another doctor in the room. So those are the only two names that I've heard being yelled the entire night. And whenever I am angry, or when I feel another emotion that is more powerful than being playful or joy or happiness, which are a bit more toned down, because when I'm angry or I'm very upset, it feels like a feeling that is warm around the neck, something that is very powerful and requires a lot of my attention, kind of like a kid. So whenever this kid that is anger or sadness is talking to me, I can't hear anything around me. So it just becomes this idea where I'm only focusing on what happened. But whenever you're playful, it's as if you're sitting in the center and there's tens of kids around you, which are emotions or thoughts, ideas, and all of them want to talk with you, and they're yelling out these ideas and these words and sentences. And you're just sitting there and saying, oh yeah, that's funny, okay. Or, oh, I didn't think about that. And you keep juggling with these thoughts, not really giving any attention to them, or not really prioritizing any of them in front of the other. And I feel whenever I have been in a situation that was dangerous when I was traveling, or when I have been in a situation that was very of high emotional impact, either something happened in the family or something happened to one of my friends, I felt that this feeling of playfulness, or this attitude of playfulness, gave me not only the ability to see other ideas or to understand better what is going on, but also to take it with a grain of, okay, this is gonna be fun. And I feel not a lot of adults do this, because up until 20 something, maybe 30, I think everybody has this attitude, and because they're positive, there's not a lot of bad things that have accumulated in time, and you're optimistic. But whenever I meet up with family or with people that are nearing their 40s, I've noticed this idea that being mature or growing up means not having this attitude of playfulness. And one example of this is whenever my parents or somebody would tell me something that's very, very mm, not bad or angry or sad, something that you're not supposed to laugh at, or not supposed to smile at all. You're just supposed to be serious there. And yeah, I would always just sit like this, smiling, and they would think I'm joking. They would think I'm making fun of them, but it's just my natural reaction to anything. because I think really life is very funny, because we're always trying to plan everything, and it never goes to plan. And if you have this attitude of playfulness, you realize that by letting go of the plan, that is that is that is so much better, because you're saying, ah, wow, okay, now I got to improvise. And this ability of improvisation I talked with in my other talk as well, and it's something that everybody can train. And one of the best ways that I have trained it was writing. And well, a project that I did back in December was write 365 verses every day. So I would write 4 verses every minute, and it would take me around 2 hours, 3 hours to write 365 strophe. And I noticed that by as time was passing, I was getting better and better at coming up with rhymes. And if you realize, improvisation in itself is your ability to come up with an answer whenever you're talking with somebody and they're asking for help, your ability to come up with an answer whenever you're in a tough situation or something that requires you to react on the spot. Improvisation is essential whenever you're thinking about making a surprise, or when somebody's engaging you in a joke. So this ability to improvise is tied very much with your ability to play. If you tackle everything with a bit of playfulness, just a second, I'm going to finish and then I'm going to read the question. If you tackle everything with a bit of playfulness, then you're pretty much preparing yourself to. In Romanian, there's this word for all of our strangers called chorba, and sometimes nothing is better than a good chorba because it has everything in it, you know. And if you're eating something that is more plain, now I'm making an analogy with soup because my brain is going all over the place, and I think this is my playfulness, accepting the fact that I'm gonna tell you guys a bunch of ideas, and you're gonna listen and think either, okay, he's definitely going off track, and I've lost it. I don't know what he's talking about anymore, or you're gonna say, okay, this is a lot of ideas. I'm just gonna choose whatever I feel is best for me, and I think that is your attitude of playfulness. A serious attitude. Did you see how I completely ditched the other subject and I'm talking about something else? Perfect. That's what I'm saying. Okay, I said I was gonna answer that, so let me check that. Don't people accuse you of not taking things seriously? Don't they feel offended by your "let's have fun with this" approach? Yes, every time. And the idea is, are you okay with people expressing themselves? Because this is a thing that I've tried to teach my parents as well. I've noticed at one point they get angry when somebody else is being honest with them with their feelings, such as they do something and they are angry that the other person is upset that they did that. And I'm like, isn't that a bit weird? I mean, what would you expect people not to express how they feel? So this is whenever people tell me that, oh, okay, you're not serious, or why are you taking things so lightly? That's just them expressing themselves, a natural reaction to me expressing myself by laughing. So I don't think this is something that we're being taught, and I think I've learned it by traveling, that people get more comfortable expressing themselves next to you, and people that don't know you will always appear to be happy next to you because they're actually putting those negative, let's say, or not socially accepted emotions, they're putting them back, and they're just putting on a smile and saying, no, it's okay, or yeah, it's fine, or I'm fine. But with a friend, there, or with somebody that is comfortable around you, it doesn't even have to be a friend, somebody that is just comfortable to express how they feel, then you're going to see those those negative emotions too, or those negative thoughts. And I actually don't mind it, honestly, because most of the time they would tell me, whoa, let me see. Let's say they're arguing, or let's say they're, I don't know how to say it in English, but in Romanian, mă ceartă. So I did something and they're saying something bad about what I did. And I know I did something bad. And you see this in movies. The natural reaction is to sit there like this. And just like smile and say, okay, I fucked up. I know, I'm sorry. So I took that, and whenever someone is saying something serious now, and it's something about death, or it's something that is really serious, and for some reason I can't control myself, I will just do this because I'm covering my smile, you know. And I'm like, they really don't have to see me smile because this is bad. But I think this really ties in with our idea of being natural and not feeling bad with other people of how we feel inside. And I think the more that we do this, the more other people are comfortable with doing this, and the more we realize that if somebody wow, let me see if I have an example from yesterday. I know something happened yesterday, and I'm not going to say names, but somebody that I knew was like, I'm not going to talk with this person anymore. I'm like, why? Because they didn't want to talk with me yesterday and I needed them. And I'm like, yeah, but isn't that what friends are for? You know, feeling comfortable to tell you that today I don't want to talk with you. And it doesn't have to do with you. It doesn't have to do with anybody. It's just maybe they're anxious. Maybe they had a very bad dream. Maybe they're going through something that they don't want to tell you. And you're there sitting and saying, oh, they're not there when I need them. And this attitude is not an attitude of playfulness, because playfulness is about taking what is given to you and playing with it. And all of this is going to lead to me talking about my last panic attack that I had when the virus appeared, and I really wanted to express my experience with it with other people that might have went through a similar experience as well. But we're going to get to that in a second. Now, the next letter after P, I'm sorry. Okay, the next letter after P is L, and that ties to language. Language. So, as I said before, at the beginning of every letter, we're gonna do another game. Now, I want everybody to type in a random sentence. Now, this has to be a short sentence. It can be 2 words, 3 words, a maximum of 4 words. So, everybody type in a random sentence in any language. You can even use multiple words in different languages to form one sentence. Just be as playful as possible. You can even write a sentence that doesn't make any sense. You can even write a sentence with words that don't even exist. It doesn't matter. Just make it a sentence in any sense. Now let's do that together now. So you can write more than 4 words if you feel comfortable. It doesn't matter. I'm saying that because I wrote 5. I want my dog to be happy. That's perfect. I swear. My sentences, I feel like a horse, so nobody should feel bad about their sentence. I'm just saying. J'aime coffee aussi, mais je bois pas. Je bois pas du café. Viața bate filmul întotdeauna. Întotdeauna. So, come on, people. A couple more sentences in there. Okay, somebody wrote the letter A. That is quite symbolistical. It reminds me of Alejandro Jodorowsky's sentences. I will take that and do something with it. So now that if everybody else still wants to write, you can go ahead. Now, what I want to give you guys an idea regarding language, and this has to do with a panic attack that I had. Now, 3 weeks ago, when the virus hit, and you know, all these news and all the bad stuff that was happening around the world started being, I had this attitude of nonchalance or arrogance that it doesn't matter, it doesn't affect young people. I don't really care about it. But as the days kept going and my parents kept on telling me stuff and people around me kept on doing stuff, it started dreading on me. And I had this attitude of, oh, okay, I'm going to be careful. Then slowly, without even realizing, it was creeping up on me, this thought that I might get infected, something bad might happen to me and I might die. So this thing that kept on creeping and slowly creeping in my back and in my throat. And in the beginning, when we were still allowed to go, my friends were coming over and I was having a headache, and here in the back of my head was very, very warm and my chest was very tight. And this was a very, very new feeling to me because I've never had such an experience. And I was thinking, it doesn't matter. But then something happened. I hugged a person. You know, I wouldn't even think that something like this would affect me, but apparently it did, because I hugged the person and I went back home. And then, it's funny because you see, when you're not playful and you're having an attitude of complete seriousness, you're going to become oblivious to very obvious things, such as the fact that my throat is always sore because I snore very loud. So I'm always having a bad throat, but I don't pay attention to this. But now that I know that the virus affects you because of the throat, now I was thinking that I'm actually having symptoms, not realizing that it's just a sore throat from snoring. So I was starting to have the panic attack and giving it more and more importance. And the first few days I was not good of anything, and I kept having only bad thoughts. Everything that I was doing, and I think in English, so most of my thoughts were just English thoughts and just bad thoughts. Whatever I was doing was bad. If I want to touch the phone, don't touch it because you'll die. Or wake up in the morning and drink. No, don't drink something because it's cold and it might mess up your neck. So I couldn't live a casual day because I was only having negative thoughts. So my idea of playfulness was, okay, I'm just gonna change the language from my head. And I changed it to French, because French in my head is this guy that is very arrogant and very tough and very brave. And my English voice was this person that was very afraid and very small and very weak right now. So by changing the language in my head to French, not only was I making a constant effort to think, because in English, all of the thoughts were just coming by themselves. But in French, I had to actually make it an effort to think. So by changing it in French, I had more control over what I was thinking and towards what idea I was heading. And it was actually very funny because I hadn't practiced French in a while, and it was reminding me of the days in France when I was living there. And it was such a nice thing to wake up in the morning and just think in French. And I was like, And these were the small steps that I was taking towards healing myself mentally, because I was wounded, and it's as if I wounded myself with a hammer, and I couldn't use the hammer to make myself better, so I had to take something else and bandage it, and that was French for me. So this is an idea for you guys regarding having a reflex of thinking bad thoughts. Just adopt a different language in your head. And this doesn't even have to do with just the languages in your head, but this is the idea that I found when I talked with people that hadn't thought about it. And that's why I wanted to pass it to you guys as well, because I think it's something that is interesting to even try out as an experience, even if you're going through a good time. But language also refers to the way that we speak with other people. And obviously, obviously. Now, I've noticed that whenever I propose a very, very preposterous or weird idea to somebody, if somebody else would propose this idea, probably it wouldn't work because they're not using the same words. Now, I proposed to one of my friends. I was going and I was doing a DVD documentary back in 2015 with them. And this was a friend of mine from America, and he would come to Europe, and we would go around Europe doing magic and filming it and making a DVD. So my idea was I had a very good friend in Sweden that I thought was going to get along very well with my American friend. So I told my friend in Sweden that he could come without even asking my American friend, which was sponsoring a big part of the documentary. And this is a couple $1,000s that we're talking about. So it's something that you gotta ask the other person, you know? But in my head was like, it's okay, I can handle it. So I started talking with my American friend, and he was not okay with it, obviously. Hey, let's bring this person I've never met before and travel with us for the next 2 weeks. Yeah, this is a great idea, Biz. I agree with you. No, I don't agree with you. So in my head, it made sense, and I made it work for by using the language that I did and by presenting the idea from many points of view. The person said, "Okay, I will give him 1 day, 2 days. He can come with us." And obviously, when they met, the guy actually stayed with us for the next 2 weeks. And this is what the entire concept of play is about. By being playful, you are actually allowing your instinct, allowing your inner thoughts to come out, because now they don't have to go through a filter. Because when you're playing, you're listening to everything. Now, when you're listening to everything, you're going to listen to the bad as well. And a lot of the times, the bad is going to sound very bad, very bad. But the thing about being playful is that all of the ideas, they don't mean anything. They're just words. And that's what you realize when you're being playful, is that you are not your thoughts. You are what you choose from those thoughts to act upon your life and to transform and materialize. But you only do this when you are very playful and you hear and you say, okay, what should I do now? Oh, you shouldn't do this. Why? Because many times I ask myself, why do I think that the microwave is going to explode when I sit next to it? It doesn't make any sense. It's not going to explode, okay? But every time I come next to it, I have this image of the microwave exploding when I touch it. And I'm like, it doesn't make sense, man. So I've went through early in age, when I was angry at my imagination, to this idea of most of the stuff that I think is just ridiculous. And there's also stuff that I think that isn't ridiculous, that's borderline criminal, but still I'm not acting upon it. It's not like when I take a knife and I want to cut a tomato and I have a friend next to me and my imagination is like, hey, let's cut his throat. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to cut the tomato, because for me it makes sense. But for my imagination that's used to accepting any sort of thought, it's just me, it's not a bad thought. It would be bad if I did it, obviously. But many times, whenever I would have these thoughts, I would transform it into questions. And I would ask my friends, hey, what would you do if I stabbed you right now? And this has led to very many interesting conversations with people, especially people that don't know me. So this is the idea of playfulness and language. Language ties to the idea of how you present your ideas and your bad thoughts and your bad feelings, because language not only refers to the words, but it also refers to your facial and gestures and everything. Let's say, for example, you're calling me and I don't want to talk with you, right? Now, language is I only close your phone and that's it. I block your phone call. That's one way of expressing yourself. Oh, 15 minutes, damn it. Damn it. Okay. Next. We'll just stop there. It doesn't even matter. Now, next letter is A for attitude. let me write that. Attitude. Okay, that's attitude. Now, the next thing that everybody has to do, and I don't know if we're able to do this here, but I want you to describe it, but everybody write an emoticon. I will transform it into an emoticon afterwards, but write, yeah, attitude. I wrote that right. Yeah. Write sad face or crying face or uh, glasses on face or puppy face, whatever. Just write a random emoticon, which I will transform laterwards. You wrote privately. How did I write? Oh my God. Oh my God, everyone. I didn't know I was writing privately. I am so sorry. And I've been writing stuff. That is, oh my God. Okay. So everybody write an emoticon. So I'm going to write the first one. It's boom. I took it ahead of everybody, the cat face. So just a random emoticon. There you go. That's what I'm saying. I'm going to transform them and search for the actual emoticon afterwards. Now we're going to do the next 3 and 5 minutes. So I got to look at my own clock. 9:54. Okay. So the next one is attitude. Very fast, very fast. I am in France. I am going towards a friend's house, and there's 6 of us, right? And all of a sudden, there's another man next to us, and this man's around his 50s, but he's looking, you know, like a thug. He's looking like one of our friends. So I thought it was one of my friend's friends. Obviously, nobody was talking to me because everybody was probably thinking about something else. I'm gonna tell you what they were thinking about in a minute. So we go to my friend's house, and this man is still there. And obviously, I'm very much attracted to this girl in the group because we're in France and everybody's very beautiful. So I am looking at this French girl, and I'm thinking, okay, how should I talk with her, or should I dance, or what am I doing? And meanwhile, what is happening is this man is going to all of the people there, and I am very much in my own bubble. I am very happy that I'm in France. I am very playful. I'm in love. It's perfect for me. So this man comes to me, and he's showing me his tattoo. He's talking in French, and I'm like, I understand French, but I wasn't understanding everything at that point. And I was, yeah, yeah. Just wait a second. So I call my friend Max, and I'm saying, yo, Max, come here. Max's face was like this. And I was like, dude, what are you doing? Come here. So he was afraid. Why was Max afraid? Because apparently this man was not their friend. It was a random person on the street that decided to follow us in our apartment, and that apparently was a gangster. And apparently his tattoos from his hands was from a very famous gang in France. I didn't know that. And obviously, because I didn't know that, for me, this person was a friend. So I was hitting him, I was hugging him, I was saying stuff. I was understanding some stuff about police and about gangs and fights. And I was like, yo, that's very awesome. Wow, very cool. And he was very confused. This criminal guy was very confused because everybody was afraid, and I think that's what he wanted. And there was me that was not afraid, that was very playful, that was just hugging him and telling him he should drink or that he should just chill and everything. And his face was, so he was very confused. And I saw him with the corner of my eye after he talked with me. He just sat there and he was looking around, and then he turned, he went out the door and left. At which point my friends locked the door, came to me and said, did you know that person? I was like, no, obviously not. Like, isn't that your friend? And that's when I found out everything. And this is the attitude, the lesson in this story is that people will behave in a certain way and will act in a certain way, either because they want to get a certain feeling out of you and that person wanted fear out of everybody, or that person will act in a certain way because you're treating them in a certain way. So I've noticed whenever I was with my black friends, or I was with people that were SDF, Sans Domicile Fixe, which is homeless people, and I was walking with them because I worked at a homeless center. People were treating them in a way, and so they were reacting in a certain way. But when I was treating a homeless person like a friend, they never asked for money. They never asked me to do stuff for them. They were literally treating me as a friend. Now, I'm not saying everybody did this, obviously, but a lot of the homeless people that I talked with were like this. So majority wins, I'm just saying. So next one that I'm going to talk about is the I, and the I in a play stands for ideas. Now, next thing we're going to do is everybody take a random object from around them, put it to the camera like this, and I'm going to take a screenshot. Now I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to use everybody's words, sentences, emoticons, and now I'm going to take screenshots, and I'm going to make a story only using these words and these images. So we're going to create a story together right now, and it's going to be like a comic book, and it's going to be amazing. So everybody put in a object. Let's see, everybody did it. We have Yana, come on, do it. Yeah, there you go. Opris, Julia, come on. Yeah, yep. Close to the camera, Perfect. I took a picture, that's it. I got it. Boom. It's gonna be amazing. And you passed it, perfect. Now the ideas. Stefania, you look amazing. with the donkey on your face, on your head, amazing. Now, what I want to say about ideas is regarding the panic attack is I was realizing that the only way to get past it, to live through it, is by doing a lot of things. And I'm telling you this, I wasn't doing normal stuff at all. I wasn't doing normal stuff because I could barely eat, and I didn't feel comfortable enough seeing anybody. I was living with somebody at that point. I was comfortable seeing them, but it was very weird having these thoughts of death on and on in my head, and I couldn't focus on working on the computer or on drawing or not or whatever because my head was pounding, and I wasn't sick. I was not manifesting any sickness. It was just this anxiety, constant anxiety. So I had a bunch of ideas, and I said I will do them all. So the first thing that I did was meditation through dancing. So I would just dance like these, these Asian people. You see them with their energies and everything. So it's something that I believe in. So I wasn't just fooling around. So I would do that for like 10, 15 minutes, and I would keep telling myself, which is another idea, is auto-suggestion. I kept telling myself that I am more powerful than my negative thoughts. I cannot harm myself with my own negative thoughts, because sometimes I believe I'm a superhero, and I'm not kidding. I believe I'm a superhero, and I think with my thoughts I can just explode my own head, or I can just rip my own throat apart. So I really have to tell myself that that is not possible. Whatever happens is not possible. And I am doing this. And after the dance, I'm also doing imagination meditation, which is something that I think I took from other artists, but I don't know where from, where I imagine that my anxiety is this smog or this material that is on me, and I am taking it off of me and I am throwing it on the ground, and then I am taking it from the ground and I am throwing it to the garbage. And so I'm imagining this feeling of dread or whatever it is, that I am throwing it off of me. And next thing that I do is I take a hot shower. So while I'm in the hot shower, I am washing away all of that away from me. And then when I'm eating, I'm only eating with my eyes closed. And if you've never tried to walk around your house with your eyes closed, believe me, it doesn't matter how bad you feel. You will only think about walking, because you're going to hit yourself, you're going to trip, you're going to touch something, and you're going to think, what is this? and you're gonna keep touching it, and you're not gonna realize it's a pen. And you're like, what is this texture? Because suddenly you're a child and everything is amazing when you have your eyes closed. So ideas have always been a part of me, and they've always helped me get through stuff and learn from whatever I am feeling and experiencing. And ideas that I've manifested, or only ideas that I have heard in my own head or I've written down, it doesn't matter as long as I accept hearing them and I don't judge them, because that's one of the most important things. Don't be the teacher in high school that says, anybody has an answer? Come on, don't be shy. Yeah, Christy? Yeah, I think the answer is B. That's fucking stupid, Christy. Sit down. You're stupid. Yeah, don't be that teacher, please. Don't do that, because I've gotten that so many times in school. And teachers, they're very good at giving you hope that it's okay to answer. And then you answer, and then they're destroying you because apparently you gave the bad answer. So ideas are not like that. Don't treat ideas like that. They will tell you stuff that's going to be stupid or outrageous, and you're just going to say interesting. And next one is going to be very good, and you're going to say, oh wow, interesting. And everything is interesting, but then you'll realize that you only like a couple of those ideas, and those are the ideas that you're going to do. And that's the thing that I wanted to pass to you, is that in a state of pain or of weakness, accept this idea of playfulness and do stuff. When I was going to bed, I was imagining that I'm creating a game and I'm playing that game. Because if I wasn't going to do that, I was going to think about my pain in my throat, or my pain in my chest, or in the back of my neck. And so all of my day was full of games, just full of games. And that's what I wanted to say, is that if you're going through something, it doesn't matter if it's an anxiety attack, or it doesn't matter if it's just a bad day, just play games. Play games with yourself. Play games with other people. They don't have to know it, just play games. Now, the last thing in play is why. And the why stands not for why or the reason why, it stands for the why factor. And now, before I tell you about the why factor, the last thing we're going to do here is everybody turn backwards from the camera so I can get your back like this. And I'm going to take a screenshot. Or if you're comfortable, I'm going to take a screenshot of your face. Either way, your back or your face, because I want to put it in the story, in the comic book. So if you're comfortable appearing in a story with your face, watch the camera. If you're not comfortable and don't want that, because you have no idea what I'm going to write there, but it's only going to be your own words, turn around, and I'm going to take a screenshot of the back. So there's two people, Mirela Amare and Marian Yanku, and you guys only have a screenshot. I only have a picture, so I'm not going to use that picture because I don't know if you agree or not, Now, I took a picture, so everybody can turn around now. Perfect. I love seeing people's back, but I love seeing your front more, honestly. So let me pass this over here so I don't lose it. Bada bing, bada boom. Click right there. Boom. And you get it over here. Now, the why factor in play. There you go. The why factor in play stands for what you share in common with other people. I shared a different concept in the other talk in January, and it was the X factor in T-Rex. That is T-E-E. Sorry, T. Wait, T-Rex. There you go. I think time, emotion, experience, repetition. I think I don't know. I forgot what the other E stands for. I forgot for a second. I'm pretty nervous right now, so I apologize for that. But the X factor at the end stands for what makes you different and unique. Now, experience. No, that's emotion experiences in the beginning. So, information. No, it's like this. Sorry, it's like this. Oh, it's actually, I think it's like this. T-Rex. Oh my God, I just made a fool of myself by forgetting my own concept. Perfect. Perfect. So, um, the X factor stands there for that. Now the Y factor stands for what you share in common with other people. And I think this is essential when you're playing not only with yourself, but when you're playing with other people as well, either together by with them knowing or not them knowing. That's what she said. Yeah, that's what I'm saying about. So um, whenever I was talking with people that they didn't know me, first thing I was listening to is what are the things that they are saying that I can connect with. And I think everybody does this. We're trying to connect with people. It doesn't matter if it's live or if it's on digital or on Tinder. First thing that you're trying to do through questions is to try and find things that bring you close. And I feel what we're doing is we're playing. We are we're asking what music you like, okay, well, what do you want to do, and stuff like this. We're playing, even if it's at a lower degree. And the Y factor, what I think is very important about it, and what has helped me get through my own bad experience, was looking at more successful people than me, older people, people that are in the public eye, and thinking, just how much have they experienced. And I'm only looking at people that I feel close to, such as artists or writers or painters, magicians. And I'm thinking, wow, I had a panic attack, or I had something that made me think that I was going to die. And I'm looking at this person that is 50 or 60 and thinking, just how much have they gone through, how much have they felt or pain. And look at them, they look successful and they're happy, they appear to be joyful. And I'm thinking, wow, if they could go through it, then I can go through it. Because what makes us, what what we share in common with other people doesn't only have to be things that we know. Because everybody's like, I'm gonna find out what I share in common with this person. What we share in common can also be things that we assume to share in common, such as me looking at an artist that I've never met or I've never read anything about, and I'm just listening to them talk for the first time, and I'm assuming that they had a panic attack as well. And I'm assuming that they also had somebody who died in the family and it took them 3 months to get back on their feet. So by assuming this stuff and looking at them and seeing that they're still strong and they appear to be virile and full of life and still productive, I am encouraging myself and motivating myself to keep on going and keep on fighting, because look at all these people around me that are doing it and they're going through it and they're living through it. And so if they can do it, then I can do it. Because then if I can do it, then I can influence and I can inspire everybody in my own universe and my own friends. And I can inspire you and you can inspire me by sharing these experiences. And I just noticed that whenever I talk, my tooth appears to be black and it makes me look like a pirate. Arr. See, this is the attitude of playfulness, and I'm talking about. You're talking about something very serious, and then you're just saying something that is funny, or because I just thought about it and I saw it, and I remembered how my dad just ignores my golden tooth, and I'm thinking, how can he ignore it? It's so obvious, you know. But then again, to each his own. So that is the play. Try to wrap up. Mai avem timp și de câteva întrebări. I barely read the chat. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. And you wrote that privately, so I suppose I was supposed to read that privately. Things I didn't think about, you see? So that is actually, I did wrap it up. That is the play attitude that I wanted to talk about with you guys today. Thank you for very much for listening and for participating in the games. Now we're going to go to the questions. Make them very weird.
Woohoo! Thank you, Elisav. And before going to the questions, I would really love to make the group a screenshot photo. So
Yes.
if you have your favorite object or mug near you, yeah. Okay. Let's 3, 2, 1.
Boom.
Thank you. So for questions, being only 20 people, I would suggest just feel free and open your mic and just ask, have a conversation.
Can you can you talk about an experience when you wanted to be like super playful? No, not wanted to be, you are super playful and it goes totally wrong.
Let's see. Something that does come to mind right now is, oh yes, you're right. I just remembered. So I'm in America, and I'm supposed to be together with two other friends, the magician for a music festival, and these people with a big camera that I suppose were the people that were hired to make an official video of the festival were there filming, and they saw us and they knew we were the magicians. Now, my friends are a bit more shy, so they said, "Yo, Biz, you should perform something." Bad mistake. So my idea of playfulness, thing that I always do, and I didn't even think that in America, because when I do it in Europe, it's okay, but when I did it there, it wasn't okay. I took the deck of cards, and the cameraman was like, "Oh, this is gonna be great," and the person said, "Okay," and I said, "Can you please, which hand do you masturbate with?" And they were like, "What? Are you a righty or it doesn't matter, just give me your hand." And the guy with the camera did this. They didn't even care about the magic anymore. They were like, "Oh no, oh no." I showed the person magic then. They didn't even laugh. They were still so perplexed that this random person on the street asked them such a personal question. And when they left, my best friend that was an American, he grabbed me and said, "Biz, never do that again here, okay?" And I was like, "Why? It's a joke. You know, are you righty or lefty?" It wasn't. Apparently, it went completely bad. So that was the first. Don't do that in America.
Thank you for that.
There's a funny, Irina wrote in the chat a funny thing that maybe the cameraman just wanted to raise both hands.
Perfect. Who wrote that? Irina Makovic. Let me search you. That's very nice. It would have been even funnier if the cameraman was black. Then I would have understood why. So next question. Come on, people. Gimme. I love questions. Make it even stupid questions. Tinder questions. Come on.
I'm just.
Yes.
What's the story with the golden tooth?
I like that. Okay, it's apparently I had a bad tooth from when I was 11, and oscos nervu. So I don't know how you call that in English. The nerve, yeah, the nerve. Obviously, they took the nerve out, and it got gray. So I had a gray tooth that was almost black up until I was gonna okay. Um, um, and it was almost black by the time I was 20 or 19, 20, 21. And so when I went to the dentist and they said, we really have to replace it because it's been very damaged. And so you have to choose a new shell. And so they said, I said, "Okay, what are the options?" And he said, "Well, ceramic is perfect. We're going to make it look like the other teeth." And that was the first thing that I had a problem with, because my entire life I was accustomed to having a tooth that was not normal and that was different. And suddenly this tooth was going to be similar to all the other ones. And I felt that wasn't true to who I was or who I'd become, because my facial, how's it called, not not mistake, not problem, how's it called when you have a facial difference? I forgot. Defect, that's it. My facial defect, my tooth defect, what made me accept was that other people have a defect as well. Maybe it be acne or a bad eye or whatever it was. But I've noticed that if somebody has a facial defect or something that is visible, they are more beautiful on the inside. And as such, I accepted this defect of mine and I wanted to have it. So when the person said that, when the dentist said ceramics, I was like, okay. But then he made a joke and he said, well, if you want, you can have gold or silver. And I was like, oh, I like pirates. So gold is definitely, and I was thinking, gold. And I told him, yeah, just let me think about it. Now, the real story starts here, because so I'm going to try and wrap it up fast, but the real story is how this person didn't want to do it. Because, and you'll find out as the story unfolds, that this person is very greedy and they want to make more money. And by putting on gold, they actually weren't getting as much money as putting on ceramics. So next session, I told them, yeah, I want gold, and they're like, okay, okay. I'm gonna order ceramics, and I'm like, what was that? I mean, I just said I wanted gold. So I tell them, no, I want gold. They're like, okay, I'm gonna ask. I come next session next week, and they're like, I talked with the dentist office, and they have the ceramics ready, and I'm like, dude, I just said I wanted gold. Yeah, but gold is expensive and you told me you don't have money. Oh, no, it's okay. I have money for this. Because apparently I didn't have money for anything else, but I have money for this. And it's expensive. So they're like, okay, I got it. Next session, they come back and they're like, okay, I got everything ready. The dentist office has ceramics that looks like gold ready. And I'm like, dude, but I just said I wanted gold, and at this point, this person was in my mouth working when he said that he had the ceramics that looks like gold ready. So I never thought I was going to do this to a dentist. I swear, I never thought. I put my hand on his hand and I pushed him away and I took the stuff from my mouth and I yelled at the dentist and I said, I want gold. I want gold. And he's like, he wasn't even offended. He was just smiling and he did this. I swear, this was like in an American movie. He said, okay. And he took his phone. I swear, he said, okay. He took his phone and he did this. And I'm like, what are you doing? And he searched a photo of the best person to show me with a golden tooth in the same position. And there's this black guy that looks like a complete thug that looks like an artist as well, and he's smiling like this, and he's showing me, and he says, you want to look like that? And I'm like, yeah. And then he does another bad thing. He says, the only people that will have a black tooth is gonna be, and then he says the two type of people that I love. He says black people and gypsies. And I'm like, that's perfect. That's perfect, man. So he's like, okay, we're gonna do it. But you're gonna sign a paper that says that I didn't make you do this and I didn't make you ugly on purpose. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I had to sign a contract that says I didn't, name of the dentist, didn't agree to this, and I didn't make the person ugly willingly. So that's the full story. And then the dentist said, and that's when I realized he's greedy, was, you see, if you would have chosen ceramics, you would have paid 10 million. Wait, in dollars. So if you would have chosen ceramics, you would have paid $200 and I would have made $100. But like this, you paid $500 and I only made $50. And I was like, oh, okay, I get it. So that's the full story, and it's even funnier when you realize this guy's like 2 meters tall, and he's behaving like such a child. So that is the full story.
Yeah, great story.
Thank you for asking.
Oh my god. I think you have like a treasure chest filled with these type of stories.
Always, always.
And yeah, I would listen to you the whole day. But some of us need to go to work or log off.
Yes.
Okay, there's a question, one last question. Are we going to
Yes,
see the
that
final
is
story?
that is true. I don't know how I will be able to send it to all of you, but this is my email. So if you mail me #marketing right here, live happening, but if you email me right here, then I will share with you, and I will also ask Stefania not to close because I have to copy everything from the chat as well. I think on Creative Morning Cluj Facebook. See, somebody that wanted to cancel my marketing scheme right here, and I will do that. I will do that instead because it makes more sense. But if you want to mail me anyway, you can for some reason.
Yes. You also have the option, Elisav, at the three dots from the chat below.
Yes.
You can save the chat, or I can send you the copy.
Oh my God. I wrote privately my email again. There's my email. Damn it. Save chat. Wow. Chat saved. That is amazing. Wow.
Ooh, the power of technology.
Wow. That is insane. That is so useful.
So before I will wish you a wonderful day. We have time for one last breakout room session. So again, randomly divided in different rooms. So I was saying thank you so much for joining us and sharing these amazing stories.
It was a pleasure.
And yeah, in the rest, I want to wish you a good state of alert. Keep your mind to stay safe. And next week, I'm not sure if we will continue the virtual morning coffee, but I'm thinking to prepare Creative Mornings Cluj virtual full event.
That's what I'm talking about.
Global theme, and yeah. I hope it will be okay. So have a beautiful morning, beautiful day, wonderful weekend, and hope to see you again soon. Goodbye.
Much love. All.
Bye.
Thank
Thank
Bye.